All right, welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today, we're going to talk all about
Okay.
decision making,
Decisions, yeah.
and specifically
Tough ones,
when there's
really tough ones.
a lot on the line.
Lots at stake.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
and when the future is uncertain,
Oh, yeah.
how do we even approach that? You know,
Little unknowns.
there's a lot of what ifs
Oh, so
that
many.
could really
Yeah.
paralyze us
They can?
and prevent us from making a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some good source material today to help us
Absolutely.
kind of unpack that.
Like that.
The big idea that we're going to be talking about today
Yeah.
is how you can minimize regret,
Mhm.
even in situations where
Okay.
you don't know what the future holds,
Right.
by focusing on what could go wrong.
Oh, interesting.
So the source material that we're looking at today
Yeah.
uses this phrase. It says, you shouldn't regret trading a great setup regardless of outcome if you position-sized right and took your stop loss.
Wow.
I know.
That's a mouthful.
That sounds a little
Yeah.
jargony.
Yeah, it does.
So let's unpack that.
Let's break that down.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so position sizing, that basically just means,
Okay.
you know, how much are you willing to risk
Okay.
when you make a decision?
Right.
So instead of going all in,
Yeah.
maybe you just dip your toe in the water.
Right.
You're not putting
Test it out.
everything on the line.
Yeah.
Stop loss. That basically just means,
Okay.
what's your exit strategy?
Okay.
What's your plan B?
Got it.
If things don't go your way,
Right.
you have that backup plan already in place.
I see.
You're not going to be caught off guard.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's not about eliminating risk
Mm.
because a lot of times that's just not possible.
It's about knowing how much risk you're taking.
Managing it.
Yes, exactly, and managing it.
Right.
And, when you manage risk, it can actually free you up to take bigger chances.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, think about it. Would you be more likely to try like a really challenging new recipe if you knew that? You had a backup dinner plan in case it flopped,
Oh, okay.
right? So if you knew you weren't facing total disaster if it didn't work out,
Yeah.
you might be a little bit more adventurous in the kitchen.
I like that analogy. Okay. So that makes sense in the context of cooking,
Yeah.
but how does this apply to bigger life decisions?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not all
Not everyone listening is a day trader.
day traders, no.
But
Well, I think the principle applies to any decision where there's potential for both good things to happen and bad things to happen.
right.
So, for example, let's say you're thinking about changing careers
Okay.
and it requires you to move to a new city.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big decision, right?
That's a big one.
It comes with some inherent risks. So if we're applying this framework,
Yeah.
you might ask yourself, what are my non-negotiables for this move?
Okay.
What are my backup plans if things don't work out?
I see.
So maybe you negotiate a trial period in the new role,
Okay.
or you keep your current living situation as a safety net for a while.
So you're not burning all your bridges.
Exactly.
Okay.
So these stop losses, if you will, they
Mhm.
kind of reduce that potential downside,
It's like, right.
and they make it a little bit easier to take that leap.
Yeah. It's like you're,
Preemptively managing the regret that you might feel
exactly.
if things don't go well.
Right.
So instead of just focusing on the best possible outcome,
Yeah.
you're also thinking about the worst possible outcome.
Right.
And you're saying, okay, if the worst happens, I can live with that.
Totally.
So how can our listener
Yeah.
apply this in their own life? Think about a decision you're facing right now that maybe feels a little scary.
Mhm.
Instead of just thinking about,
The best thing that could happen, ask yourself, what are my limits? What would make me comfortable taking this risk?
yeah.
What's interesting about all this is that when you acknowledge
Yeah.
the potential downsides,
Yeah.
you could actually make bigger and bolder choices
Absolutely.
because you're not so afraid of what might happen
It's true.
if things go wrong.
Yeah, because when you minimize that fear of regret,
Right.
you're free to pursue things that might have seemed too risky otherwise.
That's a good point. So just to recap here, the key to making decisions with less regret
Yeah,
is to focus on managing the downside,
I love that.
no matter the outcome.
So true.
So I want to leave our listener a
Okay.
quick question.
Yeah.
What decision are you facing where this framework
Yeah.
could help you be more decisive? Sometimes the most courageous decisions come from understanding and mitigating the risks involved.
Absolutely.
So think about that, and we'll see you next time
Sounds good.
for another deep dive.
All right.